Hello, this is Linda Vectress Nichols, and do I have an amazing woman for you, Jennifer Beitz. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, Linda. Happy to join you today for our genuine conversation.
Yes, Jen-U-ine. I love your logo.
Thank you. You know, it's a close friend of mine, actually, that nicknamed me Genuine many years ago.
Really? That's
Really.
cool.
Yes, so she's a teacher, and she came into my life about 4 years ago, and that was her word for me. And when I
I
was
love it.
branding, I was immediately I gravitated to that.
Very cool. Yeah, like in Native America too, like what is it in Dances with Wolves, stands with fists or something like
Oh,
that.
right.
Oh, so funny. I love it. I'm 10 star. I'm a Native American. 10 star.
Excellent.
All right. So find your voice. Whoa, right? And I know for me, kind of that mother-daughter relationship, um, to find my voice was, I'd get cut down for it. And there was even times when my husband from my first marriage, or even Terry, Bertha Nichols, my husband now, I would have to say, if my mom starts something, don't go with it, right? Just cut it off because, yeah, she would just sort of like recruit people for it. It was like,
Mm.
ugh, right? And so to find my voice um, was, I always had this, there's going to be a repercussion, right? So surrounding myself with safe people, surrounding myself with my spiritual tribe, and pulling back from family was how I found my voice. How about you, Jennifer?
Oh, Linda, very almost similar. I
Mm,
really needed to, I think I downsized a lot in my life. Not just my own furnishings, but also relationships in my
yeah.
life that were not allowing me to be my authentic self.
Okay.
And it wasn't that those people chose me, it's that I chose them,
Mm-hmm.
right? I was the one that put myself in those situations. And during my transformation, and as I began to awaken to the conscious side of my life, I
Right.
started to recognize that who I surround myself with has an impact on me being able to express myself. And so I recognized from my earlier days as a little girl and into my youth, how I would let others speak for me.
Ah,
And because I didn't have that trust in myself, I
right.
often wouldn't express myself for the fear of not being liked, of
Mm,
being rejected, of
mm-hmm.
not being accepted. And I played that role for a very long time, actually, Linda. And at times I would use my voice and at times I wouldn't.
Mm,
It wasn't until I went through this journey on my own that I
mm-hmm.
started to recognize the value of expression, not impression.
Ooh, explain that a little more.
It's not about impressing others. It's
Oh,
about expressing your words, yourself in a way that connects with others.
yeah, right. And I teach authentic relationship marketing, so I like totally get that. I love it.
And once I saw that and heard that, all
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden it was like, boom, I need to say more. I need to, and how do I do that? I need to practice, and I need to practice baby steps,
Right.
right? I don't need to
Mm-hmm.
go out there on the largest platform,
Mm-hmm.
but rather I need to start small and build myself up. And actually, I use LinkedIn to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I was not comfortable on camera, yet
Mm-hmm.
I filmed myself, I recorded myself, and I put it out there for everyone.
Right.
And it rocked my world in the beginning. And it did take, there was a learning curve there because, again, you're putting yourself out there and you're
Yeah.
open to judgment and you're
Yeah.
open, you're vulnerable. And
Mm-hmm.
at first, I didn't have positive messages, and it did rock me a bit
Okay.
until I found my footing. And at that time, I was also working with a coach, and she
Okay.
helped with, getting my content out there. And
Mm-hmm.
working with her just allowed me to have this. Actually, what we came up with is that this was my sandbox, and this was my opportunity to play.
Yeah, right. I
And
love
when
it.
we said it like that, it
Mm-hmm.
just allowed me to open up.
Yep.
And it allowed me to share messages, even though I wasn't sure how they were going to land. And
Yeah.
wow, Linda, I'm so thankful I did that,
Mm-hmm.
because that was over a year ago now.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a practice, and
Yeah.
I'm at a very different stage today on video than I was over a year now,
Yeah. I thought
right?
maybe the one video I saw was your first one, and it's like that cannot be her first one. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe it was for LinkedIn, and it was like really good. Yeah, and just totally not nervous and natural, and yeah, and that takes practice, and the only way we're
Yeah,
gonna get better is to do it scared, right?
right, right. I had to find my voice. If I wasn't looking to impress others, I was
Yeah,
looking to express myself.
I
And
love
so
that.
the only way I
Mhm.
could do that is by putting myself out there.
Woohoo! Okay, so you broke the
Mhm.
silence, right?
I
So
did.
find your voice, break the silence. All right.
Right?
And then share your truth. So what would you say your truth is? I mean, we talked about, speaking up for yourself. What share your truth. Looks like we have a typo there. Share
I
your truth. What is that?
oh, right. I think it takes us back to that authenticity,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we're not looking to impress others with our message.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking to express to others things that we're passionate about, things that we have a lot of knowledge about. We're really just trying to pave the way, or show the way for others so that they might not have to go through the pain points that you went through.
Right. So what's proven true for you is kind of the share your truth. And what's fun about that is when other people share theirs, then ours can shift, right? And we don't have to be these, this is it, right? We just stay in
Yes.
the flow of for lack of better words, awakening to what we already knew when we first got here. We just kept forgetting, right? So that's
Well, and
reawakening.
also something that was bubbling up for me too, Linda, through this journey is the imposter syndrome. As I
Yeah.
started to share my truth, I started
Okay.
to feel like, hey, wait a minute,
Mm-hmm.
huh? How come who says I'm the expert? I didn't
Mm-hmm.
follow the traditional path. I am not doing things, I'm not maintaining the status quo per se. So
Yeah.
why would people find value in my message?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that voice got really loud for a bit.
Did it?
And it wasn't until I started to explore what was going on there
Right.
and started to hear other people share their struggles,
Mm-hmm.
share their truth,
Mm-hmm.
just like we're saying now, that
Yep.
I was able to identify, ah, I feel like that. What are
Mm.
you doing? What is helping you? And as I heard more of what was helping others, I started to apply that to myself.
Cool.
And now now I find it bubbles up. I just don't feed it now.
Okay.
Right? And that's
Yeah.
because I know I'm sharing my truth. It's very difficult to be an imposter when you're sharing your truth and speaking from your heart.
Yeah. And forgetting about the reactions of everybody else, right?
Right.
Because you can't control them, and that, their opinion of you is none of their business, that whole thing.
Right?
I love
Yes.
it. Okay.
Yes.
So find your voice and let others know. And I notice with you, like an inflection in your voice of, this is what I have chosen. Like, bottom line, there's an inflection to your voice. It's like, okay, right? There was like, are you sure? No, there's none of that. Okay, so find your voice and let others know. And I noticed, Jennifer, there's an inflection in your voice when, you know, you say, you know, I'm going with the color purple on my logo, right? It's just like, that's it, right? I've made my decision. And that wasn't, you know, the way you did things or said things in the past, right? You kind of like, maybe even if you said it as a fact, you probably put a question mark at the end of it, right? And then bam, like you're fair game to say, well, are you sure? Right? And that's what happened in your past, right? As you were growing up, and then you start to question yourself. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. This is always a pleasure to chat with you.
Oh, I really loved sharing time with you today, Linda, and having a genuine conversation. Thank you for letting me share my story with you today. It was the highlight of my day.
All right. My pleasure, darling. Bye-bye.
Bye.